Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another weekly outlook video. So I already kind of scanned the charts very quickly to identify the opportunities that I'll probably be looking at for the week. So I'll just kind of click through them and talk through what I'm seeing and what I'm looking for. All right, so here on GBPAUD, we had price started to make the pullback we were looking for, but we're still looking for that deeper retracement. So from where price is right now, I'll be looking for price to pull back into these recently broken highs, together with the trend line, kind of this little zone here that's being formed. Look for some rejection on the lower time frames and look for some buying opportunities. Even though we've kind of been in this massive downtrend for a while, we had a break of this trend line, right? A nice clear break of the trend line. So if this sets up with a lot of bullish rejection together with some bullish confirmations, then I'll look for long opportunities. It might very well just break below and continue to push lower, but for now we'll wait to see what plays out with this, right? Even if it sets up. Cool. So that's GBPAUD. GBPCAD. So I missed this opportunity last week. We were looking for it to pull back into this. Actually, no, I did catch the opportunity, but it spiked lower and took me out, right? So yeah, I entered here on this candle, but then we had this massive spike below, kind of to these levels here, and then we got the move I was looking for. So I'll continue looking on this pair for opportunities if we get a pullback, because price is starting to peel over just that little bit right here. So if we get another test of this level, right, this week, then I'll look for another opportunity. So what will that look like if we have a pullback into this level here, these highs this week? Pretty much the same trade with rejection. Then I'll look for long positions, right? So that's GBPCAD, GBPCHF, out to the daily time frame. So this is no longer in play. We were either looking for it to possibly break lower, and because we were stuck in this kind of range, right? We were stuck in this range, and I was saying that if I was to go short on this, I'd look for a bearish market structure and then look for short positions. But that is no longer what is in play. What is very clearly in play is the second thing that I said would happen or could possibly happen is a clear break above, a nice impulsive move above, come back and retest, right? So we had the clear impulse above, so now we'll just be looking for that to pull back into the level that was broken, into these highs, right? So some rejection, and then look for a long opportunity, right? I'll drop to the 4-hour time frame to kind of clean the zone up just a little bit more. So I'll probably be looking at maybe these highs here. Yeah, so probably a deeper retracement, right? So kind of around this sort of level, something like that, right? I just have to keep an eye on it and see what price is doing, and just make trading decisions based off of that, right? So if we see price pull back into these levels and show some signs of rejection, then I'll look for long opportunities. GBPJPY, so same sort of deal on this one. I'll just drop to the 4-hour time frame. So we were looking for that clear impulsive move above, right? So we had the break above, we had the retest, we had this retest here, right? So price broke above, came back, retested, and then we got the push higher. So what I'll be looking for this week is something very similar if it does set up, right? So I'll be looking for maybe a retracement to kind of these highs here, right, where it formed this sort of flag. That's what I'll be looking for. So maybe like a retest of these highs, right? If we have a pullback into that level, then I'll look for rejection. Complicated stuff. Look for rejection and then look for more long opportunities. All right, EURGBP. So on this pair we had a break of these lows, right? I think it was already retested. If you look on the lower time frames, in the forward time frame we had a few retests here and then it dropped. So for me, I'll probably look for opportunities here in and around this level. Alright, so if we have a pullback into this level here, then I'll look for shorts with some rejection and look for further downside, right? Something like that. And then we can have these lows in as well, right? So we can see, actually, you know what? Let me just clean that up, right? So if we have a pullback into the level, we might see something like this. And then a move lower, right? So that's kind of what I'll be looking for on this pair. EURJPY. So I'll just clean this one up as well, just a little bit. So get rid of that. This is no longer in play. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. This is the one already played out. So all right. So what I'll be looking for on this pair, if we just look at the daily time frame, because we had that nice impulsive move, right? So what I'll be looking at from here is a clear break above, so continued momentum, maybe rejection of these highs, come back into the level, and then look for further upside, right? So, you know, just a clear break above, retest of the highs, and, you know, something like that, right? Could just ignore this for now. Cool. So if I see that set up this week, then I'll look for opportunities. What I'll be keeping an eye on too is how price interacts with these highs, right? So I'll just keep an eye to see what price does around this level. So yeah, but because we're in this massive uptrend for a while, right? The price has just been pushing up for a while. I'll just be looking for long opportunities. EURNZD. So this one's a little bit interesting. So we had a break of these daily lows here. The price is currently pushing back up. So if you look at the forward time frame, we had a retest. We had a retest here that would have probably been on Friday, right? But what I would like to see is it push deeper into the level, right? So I want to see, you know, we had the spike up, then it sold. But then straight away it kind of bought back up, right? So I want to see it push back deeper into this level, show some rejection, and then look for short opportunities. So what would that look like? Just have a push up into the level, all right, show some rejection, and then look for short opportunities, right? So that's what I'll be looking for on that pair. EURUSD. So we had price pretty much played out as expected. We had a crack of the trend line on Thursday, right? Had every opportunity to continue going, but instead the buyers came in and took over the market on Friday with a bullish engulfing candle, right? Taking out activity of Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll be looking for more long opportunities on here. But what I'll wait for is for all time frames to get on side. So we have the 4-hour time frame and a clear downtrend, right? You have this kind of downward structure. So I'll just neaten it up a little bit. All right, so we have the 4-hour time frame on this clear downward structure. And obviously we have this kind of these lows here on the 4-hour time frame, right? So for me to get along on this position, what I'll be looking at from here is a nice continued momentum to the upside, come back, retest these lows here, and then look for further upside, right? Obviously we have to take into consideration these highs here. So, you know, something along these lines. This is what I'll be looking at for this upcoming week. I think this is probably going to be a nice opportunity if we could see a clear momentum move, clear continued momentum to the upside, right? Then wait for it to pull back, show some signs of rejection, bullish rejection, and then look for long opportunities. That's what I'll be looking at for that's what I'll be looking for on EURUSD for this week. CADJPY, so this one is also very interesting to me. So we had So this zone is pretty much dead. It's already been tested and we had to move off of it. This trend line is no longer valid, and neither is this one. All right, so what I will be looking at on this pair, all right, so we had the retest we were looking for earlier on a couple of weeks ago, and we had a nice continued momentum that we were looking for to the upside, right? So what I'll be looking at from here is, since we had the break above, which is what we were looking for, we're looking for that nice momentum move to the upside. Now all we'll be waiting for is just a pullback into the level, right, and then look for continued upside. Obviously we'll be look for entries on the forward time frame. We can probably neaten this zone up just a little bit. You can probably say something like that. Maybe a push back into this level here, right where we had this sort of area of indecision. We just want to see price kind of pull back into that level and then look for rejection for further upside. What else? So USDCHF. So what I'll be looking at from on this pair is pretty much the same as EURUSD, right? We had prices in this massive downtrend for quite a while. This is a trade that I took last week. I entered on this level here based on some rejection on the lower time frame, but it spiked above and took me out, right? But then straight away on Friday we had a massive sell-off. It wasn't quite engulfing candle, but the you know, it showed that buyers didn't have the momentum to keep price going higher, right? So I'll wait to see some very clear price action, maybe on the lower time frames, just to see, wait for everything to get, you know, get in the same sort of trend. So wait for the 4 hour time frame to get on side, wait for the 1 hour time frame to get on side, and make sure everything's aligned, and then I'll look for short opportunities. What that will probably look like for me would be a clear break back below, right? Retest, maybe retest the trend line, maybe retest the level, and then look for further downside, right? I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll probably change it to, yeah, probably change it to red. It might take some time for that to play out, but we just have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. Something to keep in mind as well is just this, you have this clear structure forming as well. So I just have to see what price does in and around this level, right? So we had this trend line that was being respected. Price broke above. It could very well come back, retest it, and go long, right? Not really sure what will happen, but it's something interesting to me, so I just want to keep my eye on it. USDJPY. So on this pair, just on the daily time frame, we had a very clear move to the upside. We had a couple trend lines being disrespected. All right, so we had this trend line that was currently in play, previously in play, sorry. So we had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. This was kind of the 4th touch consolidation, and then we had to push the momentum move higher, right? You could also probably look at this kind of messy but still valid. You also had this kind of trend line here. So you had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5 touches. Broke above that as well. Currently testing these highs, right? So it's been in a massive downtrend, but that is kind of a sign of reversal to me. I don't know exactly what will happen, but it's something to keep an eye on. All right, I just have it on my chart. I'll change it to red as well, just in case. I mean, I don't know what will happen, right? We had price push up all week, basically for 2 weeks, got to these highs, and then on Friday we had that rejection. So we might very well see a continued reversal on this pair. All right, we might just see it continue in this kind of downward structure. I don't know, you might see something like that, right? I'll keep an eye on it just to see what price does, how it's moving. I'll probably pay more attention to it on the lower time frames just to see what kind of structure I'm seeing. But you know, it's very clear to see is currently rejecting the level that it's at, right? It tried to push higher, again, and then, you know, we had this massive bearish engulfing candle on the 4-hour time frame, taking out all of this price action here. Right, so you very well might see it push lower in this, to kind of continue the massive downtrend that it's been in. No clear setups, but I'll just keep my eye on it, right, just to see what price really wants to do. AUDCAD. So on this pair, right, so it's pretty much the same analysis as last week, just kind of patiently still waiting for it to pull back into the level. Right, show some signs of rejection. I've got my alerts set just above the level, just in case it sets up. If we see that pull back, it missed my alerts on I think it's like on Tuesday, Wednesday. It missed my alerts just by a couple of pips, but I'll just keep my eye on it and see what price wants to do. Right, we very well might see price just push higher from here. But if it pulls back into my level, shows some rejection, or even pull back deeper into these kind of highs here, then I'll look for further long opportunities, right? AUDCHF. So this one's just a little bit interesting to me. So we've at a very important level on this pair. So we had very clear signs of support here. Support, it broke through, formed resistance, came back, resistance, and now it's at resistance again. But you can also see a very clear kind of flag formation, right? You kind of have this sort of formation like this, and another impulse. Then it's currently in the kind of correction, and then we have in that impulse again, right? So this thing. You get the idea. So we have this kind of correction here, right, after that impulse. Then we also have this correction here, right, and we're currently having that second, hopefully that, well, third impulse, right? So this would be, this is the first impulse, correction, impulse, correction. So hopefully we get another continued momentum move, right? I don't know if it will happen. If it does happen and it does break above, comes back, retests, then I'll look for long opportunities. Equally, we could be seeing a reversal here, right? We also could be seeing this kind of pattern where we have this kind of small M being formed, right? So we could see something like that, right? We just have to wait to see what price wants to do, if it does want to reject the level and reverse, or if it wants to push on higher. I'll just be keeping my eye on it to see what it wants to do, and if I see some price action I like, so a clear break above, come back, retest, then I'll look for long opportunities. EURGBP, same sort of deal. So we have price currently at these highs here, right? Currently paused at these highs, but it's very clear to see it had the impulse, correction, and a very clear bullish candle, right? Taking out a bunch of price action all in one day. So if it wants to continue higher, then we'll just be patient, wait for it to crack above. Wait for it to crack above, come back, retest, and then look for long opportunities. That's what I'll be looking for. On this pair, also I'll just keep an eye on it just in case it wants to reverse, right? So we'll just wait and see, and just keep my eye on it. AUDUSD, I'm just gonna be managing this trade. I'm just still holding on for this one. I held it over the weekend, so we'll see how that goes. But price has been in a very clear upward trend. Kind of had this corrective move back into these highs. I spoke about this trade in a bunch of detail on my recap video yesterday, so if you guys want more information on it, you could go watch that video. And then the last pair that I'm looking at is NZDCHF. This one, we just had price had the momentum move I was looking for, cracking these highs, and it started to curl over. So if it pushes back into this level, I'll look for further long opportunities, right? What that would look like is just a further push back into the level, and then look for upside, right? On the forward time frame, it's just a little bit clearer. So we had these highs being formed, lots of indecision at the level, lots and lots and lots of indecision, and then finally we had that clear move above, right? But it's starting to peel over. So if it comes back into the level, I'll look for some rejection and then take long positions. If you just look at the 1 hour time frame, you could see very clear bullish market structure, right? So we have impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, bunch of correction, sideways correction, and then we had this massive impulse, right? So it's very clear that bulls are in control here. So it's even being seen by this slow kind of consolidation correction that's happening, right? So if it comes back into the level, it might reject these highs, it might reject these highs, I don't know. We'll just have to keep an eye on it to see what happens. So that's it. That's pretty much what I'll be looking at on the pairs, or all the pairs for this week and upcoming weeks. And hopefully, you know, if something really clear sets up, then I'll be able to get involved, right? So yeah, anyway, that kind of marks the end of the video. As usual, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. And obviously, if you like what you see, feel free to share if you think it'll help anybody else. If you like the way that I kind of analyze the market, right? But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will catch you in next week's video.